Have you ever felt that gut-wrenching feeling of being undervalued at work? That slow burn when you pour your heart and soul into your job, only to realize your paycheck doesn't even come close to reflecting your effort. I've been there, and today, I want to share the story of how I went from being underpaid and overworked to finding a role that truly values me. This isn't just my story, it's for anyone who's ever felt stuck wondering if there's something better out there. It all started a few years ago. I landed what I thought was my dream job. The company had a great reputation, and I was excited about the projects. I jumped in head first, eager to prove myself. I was always the first one in the office and the last one to leave. I took on extra responsibilities without being asked, mentored new team members, and consistently exceeded my targets. My performance reviews were always glowing. My boss would praise my dedication, calling me a rock star and an invaluable asset to the team. I felt proud, thinking my hard work was being recognized. But when it came to compensation, the story was completely different. Year after year, my salary increases were minimal, barely keeping up with inflation. When I'd bring it up, my boss would have a whole playbook of excuses. The budget is tight this year. We're investing in other areas of the business. Let's revisit this in 6 months. The praise continued, but the pay stagnated. It was like getting a pat on the back while my pockets were being picked. I started to feel a creeping sense of resentment. I was delivering premium work for a bargain basement price. The turning point came during a particularly grueling project. We were under a tight deadline, and I was working 70-hour weeks to get it done. I sacrificed weekends, missed family events, and basically lived at my desk. We launched successfully, and the project was a massive win for the company. During the celebration meeting, my boss praised everyone, but then he announced the bonuses. My bonus was, let's just say it was insultingly small. It wouldn't even cover a nice dinner for two. That was the moment the rose-tinted glasses shattered. It wasn't about a tight budget. It was about a lack of respect. All the late nights, the stress, the missed moments with loved ones. For this, I felt foolish. I realized my loyalty was being exploited. That night, I went home and couldn't sleep. The frustration was bubbling over. But then, a different feeling started to emerge. Determination. I decided I wasn't going to be a victim of my circumstances anymore. I deserved better, and it was up to me to go out and get it. The next morning, I started my exit plan. This wasn't about rage quitting. It was a calculated strategy. First, I updated my resume, but not just with a list of duties. I focused on my accomplishments. Instead of saying managed social media, I wrote increased social media engagement by 300% in 1 year, leading to a 40% growth in online sales. I quantified everything. I wanted to show, not just tell, my value. Then, I started networking. I reconnected with old colleagues on LinkedIn, attended virtual industry events, and had informational interviews with people at companies I admired. I wasn't just asking for a job, I was asking for advice, learning about their company culture, and getting a feel for the market. This was crucial. It helped me understand what a fair salary for my skills and experience actually was. And let me tell you, what I was currently making wasn't even in the ballpark. The research armed me with confidence. I wasn't just feeling underpaid. I now had the data to prove it. The job search began in earnest. I was very selective. I didn't just apply to every opening I saw. I targeted companies known for their positive work culture and for investing in their employees. The interview process was a two-way street. While they were interviewing me, I was interviewing them right back. I asked tough questions. How do you measure and reward success on your team? What is your philosophy on work-life balance? What opportunities are there for professional development and growth? I wasn't just looking for a bigger paycheck. I was looking for a better environment. After a few weeks, I landed an interview with a company that felt different from the start. The people I spoke with were passionate, intelligent, and respectful. They were transparent about their expectations and their compensation structure. When they made me an offer, I was stunned. It was a 40% increase from my previous salary. 40% plus. It came with a better benefits package, a clear path for advancement, and a manager who seemed genuinely invested in my growth. It wasn't just more money. It was a validation of my worth. Putting in my 2 weeks' notice was one of the most empowering moments of my life. I kept it professional and positive. I thanked my boss for the opportunity and offered to help with the transition. His reaction was telling. He was shocked. He suddenly found the budget for a counteroffer trying to match the new salary. It was too little, too late. I politely declined. It was never just about the money. It was about the principle. Why did it take me leaving for him to finally recognize my value? I knew I was making the right choice. My first few months at the new job were like a breath of fresh air. I was surrounded by a team that collaborated, a manager who advocated for me, and a company that celebrated my wins in meaningful ways. I was given challenging projects and the autonomy to lead them. The best part, I was leaving work at a reasonable hour, feeling energized instead of drained. I had my evenings and weekends back. I was rediscovering hobbies and spending more time with the people I loved. I was happier and healthier than I had been in years. Looking back, quitting that old job was the best career move I ever made. It taught me a powerful lesson. Your employer does not determine your worth, you do. If you feel undervalued, don't wait for someone else to fix it. Start by recognizing your own contributions. Document your successes. Research your market value. Build your network. And don't be afraid to walk away from a situation that is no longer serving you. It can be scary, but staying in a job that chips away at your self-esteem is far more damaging in the long run. Your career is a marathon, not a sprint. It's okay to change course. You owe it to yourself to find a place where your hard work is not just recognized with empty praise but rewarded with fair compensation and genuine respect. If my story resonates with you, I hope it gives you the courage to take that first step. Know your worth, and then go get it. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. If you found this helpful or inspiring, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content about navigating your career and building a life you love. I'd love to hear about your own experiences in the comments below. See you in the next video.